Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and today we're going to be getting on with the rail-to-road cargo area, getting the new star racking in, some of the cargo, and maybe a few other things as well. But first of all, I think we need to do some amendments and suggestions from last time. Well, I had a fabulous response to the video last time where we did all of the different cargo pallets, ideas for how to use them and how to do additional ones as well, and even some ideas about my lovely Cargo Connect shunter sort of truck, which is a recolour of the Maersk one from 10219 of course, and the first one was just to swap the cab onto the other side so it was actually in line with UK roads. I hadn't really realised that's why it was asymmetric, so it could be driven on the left rather than on the right on the continent. So I've sorted that out. I've even added a green seat on the inside to connect with the logo, so thanks very much for that. Another really popular one actually to do with this vehicle was to create the beginnings of a trailer rather than having this sort of parked up to one side or having an incredibly long trailer that took up a lot of space. It was just to create a really sort of short one that would get chopped off at the wall, much like all of my racking and all that, giving the impression that it continues off into the distance, but we're only really seeing the very first chunk. So I thought that was a good idea. It was one that I'd considered, but I kind of decided not to, and you've encouraged me to do it anyway, and this is what I've come up with. So it's just a very beginning of the official build trailer, but with some clear bricks at the back. So basically when I put it onto its trailer hook, it just sits like that. So imagine that is the wall, and it's just coming out of it. I think it looks really appropriate actually. So I'll have to add a driver now, but yeah, I think that looks really good. So thanks for that. There we go, second time lucky. So I can put one of my crates on the back of that. I know it would normally have containers on. I've added handlebars to that. That was a suggestion. I made a bike one, which has got four just the frames rather than with the wheels on. Bicycles as well, so that won't fit on there as well, but we're going to have to put that somewhere. I've also added protective sort of bars onto the sides of the caveman one and the arcade machine one as suggested, and a couple of others as well, so that's really good. Thanks for all of those. Then in case I want to do the scene where this is being played, I've kind of added a power cable on the back there, just by one of these stud-ended sort of pieces of string, and I'll plug that into a building or something like that if I do want to have all the staff not really doing their job, but playing Defender instead, because, well, the screen is on, as somebody pointed out, so I might do that scene. It depends how much space we've got, really, but I like the idea very much. Another idea that was very popular was to do a chemical spill. So I won't be including this white plate. That's just to show how it'll kind of look, kind of oozing out from underneath the edge of this stack of chemical barrels, poisonous. So that's no good. But yeah, that will be transferred onto the floor. And I've used the sort of curved edged ones to give it more of a realistic look. But yeah, I really like that. So that's a good idea as well. Thank you. And then to add to that scene, of course, we may as well have the Series 4 hazmat guy, of course, fully suited up with his little sort of probe, and maybe he's detecting that, and it doesn't look like the results are very good, does it? Because he looks very concerned indeed. So I'll have him added to that scene. Very nice, thanks for that. Then probably my favourite suggestion, incredibly simple but incredibly effective, was to add to my vampire being disturbed scene a teddy bear. Oh, isn't that absolutely lovely? So basically I've had one stud onto his feet just to make sure he doesn't slip too far down the coffin. So when I add the lid onto its sort of support to keep it in place, you can still see the teddy bear's head, and he's still doing his nasty sort of sort of attacking pose, but his teddy bear is still visible, so I'll make sure that's at the right angle so we see it like that. But that is absolutely adorable, so I love that. And maybe I spoke too soon, because another absolutely awesome idea that you had was to add, well, something that we might expect to see in a warehouse full of absolutely thousands of crates, and that is the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones, which if you've seen the film Raiders of the Lost Ark, you'll have seen in the very last scene that the Ark that is rescued is kind of hidden away so no one can ever find it in a vast amount of crates. And that actual build of the Ark of the Covenant was part of an official Lego set, 7621, Indiana Jones and the Lost Tomb from 2008. So I have faithfully recreated that with some slight changes just to reflect the pieces that I had in my collection. So a slight change on the top there, for example, and I think that looks absolutely perfect. So I'll be burying that in all my racking as well. In fact, it seems a real shame to be hiding that away, even though that is part of kind of the story. Maybe I'll have that on top of my transporter here, I don't know. But one thing I thought about making this even better was trying to sort of incorporate basically a treasure chest piece into it, so it kind of open up. And basically, they've added a brand new piece which enables you to put a flat top on one of these now, and that's part of some of the sets like the Hogwarts Hospital Wing 76398. And it just so happens that the bricks and pieces order that arrived yesterday included one of those pieces that I'd ordered just as an experiment to see what it was like, really. So what absolute opportune timing for me to have the flat bottom version of that in a normal trunk that now opens to incorporate onto the bottom of this. Now, I don't want to open it with this on the top because if you look in there, if you remember the film, your face will melt. So look away now. Yeah, that's how it works. And you can look back now. I've got it closed again. So there we go. So yeah, I think that looks really good. Now, the other thing is that is now a bit tall. So you have to let me know if you prefer it with these erroneous handles on the end and the fact that it can open now, or whether you just preferred it on the smaller version like that. I think that might be what I'm going with today. But it was a fun experiment to cause some faces to melt around the world. And this is now safe again, of course, because it doesn't have the arc on top. So anyway, good fun there. And then some other people suggested that I include an Indiana Jones character sort of working around the, or protecting it, or maybe depositing it around the cargo area. Now, I don't have an official Indiana Jones minifigure, so I kind of made my own. I'd need one with yellow skin anyway, and the official ones have all got sort of tan skin at the neck and so on. So I reckon that's a fair representation, really. He does need a whip, but it kind of looks a bit too big and a bit weird that he's got it out, to be fair. So that is my Indiana Jones. I think that's close enough. I think that looks pretty accurate. So we'll add that to that scene. Then I've been looking through my stickers as well. I better give a bedoing to all of the ARC sort of stuff. I've been looking through my stickers, and I've got these sort of hash sort of things to put on some road plates, maybe, if I see that's appropriate, or some arrows just from some old racer sets. So I might use those. Got these keep clear ones, which I've rescued off base plates in the past, so I might add those as well. Then I was thinking about adding some basically tiles on the end, the signs of each of the rows of racking. I've got these arrows to consider. I've got these sort of cargo logos to consider, but some people suggested I should have sort of numbers or letters on them. And I was looking through my stickers and came up with these ones, which got 1508 on, and I could make one a kind of a 15 by just chopping it in half, and one a 08. So that could work quite well if I used that one. Similarly, from the Amelia Earhart sticker sheet that was sent, I could make a 79 and a 52 pretty easily by cutting that sticker in half. Or I could even use this really vintage sticker sheet, or I've just got a very basic 1 and 2, but that's a bit boring, so I don't think I will use that one. I quite like the red colour scheme here, so I think what I'm going to do is chop that in half and put them each on a 2x2 tile, and then we can kind of have, well, signs that look a bit like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Cool. Right, so all those ideas, thanks for that. Have another bedoing for if I forgot yours. We need to get this and all the stuff we made last time up to the Lego room and start getting it installed. Okay, so in the Lego room, and basically we're going to have to rip up part of this crane and even part of this sea wall to reorganise all of the base plates along the bottom, because I'm basically going to have the two of the paths together, kind of with a double path like this bit really, against the wall. So one side of racking will be there, but will be too deep, and the other one will be kind of right over here, and then the red building will move along to our right. So it's all going to be quite different in a minute, and then hopefully we'll have the protected sort of chemical cargo area to the right of that. So yeah, it's going to take a lot of steps backwards before we can move forwards. And while we're kind of on the thing of amendments still, I did want to say that I blocked the holes in the top of the milk wagon from last time, and I've extended the little sort of hatch on the top just by one round plate as well. And I haven't got my bedoing buzzer up here at the moment, so bedoing, that's for you. Good, good. Old racking out, new racking in. And doesn't it look great being double height? Yep, you guys were right yet again. That looks absolutely fantastic and uses a lot more of the wall space up, although there's still quite a lot left to fill. And we've got much more space, quite importantly, in between the two sets of racking for forklifts to do their business. We've kind of got an in and an out, and it kind of ties in with the other sort of double width pathways that we've got over here. So I think that works rather well. And I've tried to do it so we've kind of got light roof section, light roof section. So it kind of looks like it does go on into the wall. So there's not just two bays on each side, but absolutely loads. And furthermore, they're kind of labelled with this one being 79 from that Amelia Earhart sticker, and 52 over there with the kind of S logo beneath as well. So I think that looks really good. And I've even put on the keep clear stickers on the ends of both of those, so nobody just parks across that and ruins the whole area's working. And we've still got those lovely yellow kind of crosshatch sort of lattice pieces on the back, which I think look really good from a distance. And what's great about this sort of kind of really open look with these additional window pieces that we bought on the last brick haul is that from this perspective, I can see all of this wonderful cargo in these racks. And from over there on the second standing hole, I'll be able to see all of the lovely contents of that set of racks as well. And I think that will be a really good, colourful and interesting scene. And I bet these look absolutely towering from a minifigure's perspective. Wow, yes. Cool. So I've added a few of these sort of corner protectors, so forklift trucks don't sort of drive into the corner of the racks and kind of knock them down. And I think they look pretty good, all in yellow still, so we've kind of got a theme going across. Yeah, I'm really liking that. So I think what's next is I need to add the office back in this section, start the sort of chemicals section over here, and then we need to get the little office with the kind of descending gate, so not everyone can get into this restricted area. So yeah, that is looking really nice. It really ties in with the crane supports as well, doesn't it? Yeah, I'll have to put that back in position as well. Cool, looking good so far. All right, here is the next stage of additions, and wow, it's looking absolutely crammed already, and we've barely started. I think by the time we finish, it'll be too much for some people who don't like it as packed and stacked as me. But some of the changes I've made, I've added in the Cargo Connect container mover, and that's coming out of the wall rather well, I think. I tried a car facade once, and it really didn't work very well at all. It wasn't believable. So I didn't show it on the channel. But I think this one with the beginning of the trailer really does work, actually, like it is coming out of the wall. So that's good. And it's in the middle of the road there, just so we can kind of see into the racking on both sides still. I don't think it's necessarily a two-way passage. And on the back of that is the Ark of the Covenant, being brought out against the wishes of Indiana Jones, who is here to ensure that it never gets discovered and brought out into the light of day in case it gets into the hands of Dr. Inferno or something like that. Heaven knows what would happen then. Then we've got the office back in for the train cargo office, and that is a really good break between the sort of tall yellow of the racking and the tall yellow of the cranes being in red. And now we can actually see the full Rusty's advert on the side that we were kind of temporarily blocking last time, so that's good. I've got more of the protection around the foot of that, and I've got lots of these sort of things for dashed stripes all over the place so things don't go off course. And then we've got the chemical area, and it's completely crammed in here next to these steps, next to the forklet and next to the office. I had to do that really just to get enough of it in to make enough of a statement. And you can see we've got the spill scene there out the front with the hazmat suit guy, who's very unhappy with the readings he's getting. And we've got the chemical symbols on the fences as well, just to show that they are hazardous materials. In fact, I had to put some of the crates on the back of this truck here because there just wasn't enough room. And I've added a dustbin, octane little tank there, a couple of barrels and some tools and so on, as well as Loco doing his silly dance on the top of there. He's almost like one of those people who are protesting against something by climbing some sort of tall building. You won't catch me doing that, that's for sure. Now we're going to cram this up even more by adding back our little buggy for the Coast Guard into that very small space there. So it's absolutely ridiculously packed. There's not much I can do about that. We can't fit in 4 forklift trucks, so we'll have to pick our favourite, and I think mine is this one from 7898, the Cargo Train Deluxe. I just think it's sort of a really interesting sort of squat shape. So I guess one of the few spaces we've got left is there. That looks about right. It isn't very realistic because everything can't really get past each other, but we just haven't got the room to do an incredibly large cargo area. At least it looks really interesting and busy, so that's good. So that is rammed already, but what I'm going to do next is adapt this kind of checkpoint for the entryway, and I've got the big sort of barrier as well with the stop sign on. They're both from the 60169 cargo terminal set. And the next decision I have to make is whether I'm going to put on this kind of different roof sticker, it's different from the ones on there, onto that black roof there. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. And that's from 60173, the mountain arrest from 2018. So I think this office is going to need sort of reorganizing, so the doors on the right side. I think I'm going to have to fill in the back and so on, and that will go about there with the barrier across there. Whew, this is going to be crazy busy by the time we're done. Ho ho ho, that's looking pretty good, isn't it? It's amazing how one more thing can really make a huge difference. I think it's because it kind of defines it, kind of chops off the rest of the city from the area we're looking at. But yeah, that looks really great. So basically, I've just mirrored the build for this kind of little hut here. So we've got the door on the left side as we look at it, and the window on the left. Camera's still on the right. And I had to raise all of these little signs on the side of our racking up a bit because of the sign in front of them now. That sticker's gone on well. I think that was a good choice to include that. And there's a good link between the logo on that sign and the logo there, so that also ties it in together. Splashes of red on the barrier, on the numbers there, and on that building, of course, really have a continuous theme as well. I've added a few signs, like the stop wear your hard hat symbol, which I think is from 60098, the cargo train. There's another one there. That's the red cargo train. And I've added a donated caution train sign there as well. So thanks for that again. You know who you are. Right, so that is looking really nice. Now, we haven't got something over here, and I'm sort of contemplating moving the super secret police van, which can always go, at a scene that's going on, something that's kicking off, and replace it with this, which is kind of a big container that's got a man in it and lots of sort of flammable equipment and all the rest, kind of to act as the other gatepost, really. That came from 60108 Fire Response Unit, and I was thinking it would kind of go like that or thereabouts, just to sort of close off that bit of area. So you have to tell me what you think of that. I quite like that, actually, looking back at it from here. That does mean the van's going somewhere else, but then we've kind of enclosed this green space so we can do something really interesting with that. I'm thinking sculpture park or something like that. Yeah, that'll be nice. So, wow, yeah, that's looking pretty packed and stacked already. But I think now we need to add, obviously, all of our cargo, both into the racking, kind of lying where it shouldn't. Maybe another one on the back of there. And that should complete our area. But yeah, it's looking really, really amazing, if you ask me. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Seamless sort of progression from it into the Coast Guard area. the rocks and even the fortlet over there. So yeah, it's going really well. Cool. And I just thought I'd show you this angle as well from the entry into the Lego room. You can see how packed and stacked it is from here already, with those Coast Guard steps and buggy almost rammed right in with the chemical cargo. And you can see why I didn't add steps to the back of the fortlet now, because there just simply isn't room. But it is a good view from this angle. We'll be able to see straight into the racking. And I do like that olive container there, actually. I think I will go ahead with that. I think without it, the barrier kind of looks like you could just sort of walk around it on the far side as well. So yeah, this is a much better view when you come into the Lego room than we had before. Wow. Phew! And wow! That is a big area of loads and loads of stuff all finished in one great big session. But I think it's been a really successful one as well because, wow, look at it. I mean, there's just so much to catch your eye, whether it be the caveman exhibit, all these sort of things out of place here, the absolutely crammed racking, which looks good from every direction, absolutely full of different colours and so on. And I've definitely given my transport stickers, those sort of vintage ones, the best location of all for us to see. We've got the forklift truck being laden as well. We've got your idea of the game being played by somebody in action. They've taken off the barrier and have plugged it in, and I've kind of got the other end of the cable tied into the back of one of these stanchions, and I think that looks quite good. And then one of my favourite scenes, the vampire awakening with his teddy bear scaring off this chap. And I've put the safe on its crate, kind of being lowered onto the back part of this. We've kind of blocked the stairs with this one, but it needed to go somewhere. They can still get out. It's just about the bare minimum of space all round, really. I mean, I've put a couple of crates on this side, as you can see, just so we can see them. And I've still got 11 left that I haven't used. So they'll have to go, I don't know, maybe on a sunken vessel underneath the sea in my 20,000 bricks under the sea cabinets, or maybe over at the other side in the harbour. I've already added a few more spares, actually. You can probably see 2 just over there and another one in between those buildings there. So that's 3 more over there. Yeah, I just made too much, didn't I? That's typical me. I've checked the clearance of the cargo train past all these obstacles, and it does work, so that's really good. But yeah, what an absolutely rammed area. But you'll have to let me know what you think of this olive container here. I'm starting to really like it because it just gives the other side some real definition. As I've said, without it, I think we're lacking a little bit, and it just means we'll have to have the SSP making nuisance somewhere else. But yeah, looking so busy. And all my train clearances are absolutely minute. So when I say that the trains can go past, and the same is true of the passenger trains, they make it by, well, about 1 millimetre. So it really makes you think that they're going to be hit, or yeah, an accident's going to happen. But yeah, I think it looks great. I really like this grumpy guy here as well with his clipboard. He looks fantastic as well. And then that gantry obviously goes up. That barrier rather goes up into the vertical position as well. So you can let in a truck. Not that there's really any space for one. I mean, in my original plan, I was going to have all that cargo in, of course, and I was going to have probably a couple of trucks waiting, but there just isn't space. Sometimes you just think you've got more space than you've got. And I was at one point, after all, going to have that green crane going across, which I have actually put in final position. I don't think I showed you that actually over here. It's exactly where I sort of propped it up last time we were in the Lego room, but yeah, that's looking pretty good. I've just noticed I've knocked off some sort of traffic light in doing that. Oh well. Yeah, so do tell me what you think. I'll be very interested. I'm sure some of you will find this far too busy for your liking, far too much going on, but I really like the fact that you can kind of see a scene that you really like and then next time see something completely different. whether it be, say, the kryptonite on the shelves or maybe some signage or the meeting going on upstairs. So, yeah, I'm really happy with it. Fantastic. Well, for the final shot, I thought I'd show you it from the second standing hole. So we've got the view of the checkpoint and all of the second sort of side of racking there, looking really good. And looking down that train track at all of the cargo being loaded on, I think that looks fantastic. It's nice the fact that it's got the train track in front of it, so it's sort of like an open area that really draws your eye to the far side. So I really like that, especially this facade truck. It looks really good actually, so thanks again for prompting me to do that. Wow, so as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, we'll be doing a brick haul. And I think I'll be going through some of the packages that you sent in. I've got one particularly huge one. So if you do want to send one in yourself for a future brick haul, you can to this address. Then on Friday, we'll do another mock build. And then Monday, we'll have to think of a new long-term project to do, I guess. Think of another area that needs working on. But if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you could support it. Do check out the links in the description below. So until next time, see you!